Hello everybody, welcome back. It is Friday, April 12th, and we are back with another crypto market update. Okay guys, so here we are on the Bitcoin chart, and this is the daily time frame. Cassie and I decided to bring you an emergency update. So just like we had mentioned for the past week or so, the market is starting to drop like crazy, and some of these altcoins are down over 25% within the last hour. And so we're going to take you through each of the charts, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, to show you what we think is going on and what you should be watching out for as we head into the weekend. So let's pay attention to Bitcoin here, because Bitcoin has not dropped as much as some of the other altcoins. Bitcoin's only down about 5%, whereas, like I said, some of the others are down over 25%. And so we're watching the markets very closely right now. Take a look at this RSI, because the RSI in Bitcoin is not as bearish as some of the other altcoins that have made a new extreme on the RSI. So Bitcoin actually looks like it's holding this level as support. And so Cassie's going to take us into these subwaves here to give you a closer look at what we're expecting.
Okay, so here I am, Bitcoin 1 hour. You can see this massive drop that we just had, really quickly breaking that support, and it actually came down to very close to that 618 extension down here. So between a 1 extension and a previous 618 extension, I'd say it landed. But I do think short term we are coming back up to test that break. So I think that in the next couple hours and throughout the weekend, we're probably going to come up and test this break here. We're going to want to pay close attention to if we're building resistance along this line, or if we've broken back up and are building support in the side of this triangle. This MA on the RSI, you can see with time, this could be met with resistance right at this trend line as Bitcoin comes up to test the breakout of the RSI as well. So it is possible that we find some resistance either at the bottom of this triangle or even at that 68,000. So let's keep an eye on the RSI in the next few days on where this test of the breakout happens, because I do think short term we are definitely going to need to test this breakout, because it was a really strong breakdown of that price. So I think short term coming up, and let's watch the RSI. It'll probably be almost perfect to resistance on this MA and this trend line. So that's what I'm expecting there.
Yeah, Cass, let's get the resistance levels put on here so they know what to watch out for during the weekend.
Okay, so for the retracement levels, we're just going to grab the subwave of 3. So that's just the top up there, and then all the way down to the low that it's made. So you can see we are just above the 236 retrace, and then the 382 retrace is a perfect touch to that bottom trend line at 67,500. So wave 4 typically targets this 382 level, which is perfectly touching that bottom of that triangle, like I said, but it could also target 0.5. So at 68,000 would be really high resistance, I'd say. So what you're going to want to do is watch the RSI as we come up to test the breakdown and see where we're getting that test of the trend line, at which price level, because that'll probably be our final resistance level at that point. That's what I'm expecting on Bitcoin short term.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Cass.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get over to Ethereum. Okay, so here we are on Ethereum, and we're on the daily time frame. And Ethereum, when it came down and had that major drop here, look how perfectly it targeted that 382 level at 3,100 that we've been mentioning for the past week or so. And so it came down, perfectly targeted that. And look at the RSI. The RSI on the higher time frames is really not extremely bearish compared to the drop that we had. Keep in mind, we still have 4 hours left of this daily candle, but the RSI is not showing extremely bearish like you would expect on a major drop like this. So what this is telling us is that this could be support before we start to form that 5th wave coming up. And so Cassie's going to take us into the subwaves here and show us what our resistance levels are going to be throughout the weekend and give you a closer look at what we're expecting.
So here we are on Ethereum 1 hour. You can see we had a nice bounce off that 1618 extension that we put on our charts yesterday, and that was clear alignment on the 382 larger retrace that Tara just talked about. What you can see here is look how strong this candle is, and look at our RSI. So it definitely does not look complete here, although I do think we could see our small bounce for small wave 4 up to 3,300 or so, and we'll get those retracement levels in just a second. But I do think ultimately this will end up breaking, and we probably will come down for another low. So what we're looking for is currently just a small bounce for small wave 4, testing out this break that just happened. But I do think ultimately we're still going to be coming down, and the RSI is showing signs of that too. So let's get our retracement levels in here so you can see as it's heading up where we could be finding resistance. So that is the fib retracement tool. And I'm just going to take the top for wave 2 there and come all the way down to the low that it made. You can see we're just hovering above the 236 retrace, and we have a wave 4 targeting 3300, which is exactly the larger 236 retrace. So this is good alignment here on some subwaves. So we'll probably come up to there. We could even come up to 33.54 and still be valid for our wave 4. So make sure that you have these levels on your chart so you know what prices to look out for in the coming few days. But probably around Monday, we'll be tracking a new low at the top of 4 here. So I think on Monday, we'll be back with that. But over the weekend, we'll probably be coming up and expecting to find some resistance in these levels here. Similar to what I was saying on Bitcoin is we want to see the RSI come up and meet the MA. So when it does that, we'll see what price levels it's met at that time to help give us further confirmation that it's a top at that point. So I think that that's what we're going to be looking out for in the coming days.
Okay, so let's get over to XRP then. Okay, so here we are on the XRP chart, and this is the daily time frame. And look how crazy of a drop this was on XRP and how it came down, and it's perfectly targeting that one fib that I showed you guys how to put on your charts a few days ago. And so it's come down now, testing the bottom of that triangle, and it hit our buy range from 52 to 54 cents. And it did have this wick coming down here. So a lot of times this wave E will have a fake out. And that's why Cassie and I have been mentioning to you that we might get a fake out coming down here to 48 cents to finish out this triangle, just so we can have enough volume to really push us out of this triangle up here. And so Cassie is going to take us into the subwaves here on XRP to give you a closer look at what's going on.
Okay, you guys, I have XRP 1 hour pulled up here, and just as Tara mentioned, we had a slight break of the triangle, and now we are back inside, holding it as support. As we mentioned, we are right between that 52 to 54 cents like we talked about. XRP is down over 12%. So this was a major drop. Unlike Bitstamp, HTX actually came down and wicked the 48 cents already. So I wanted to call that out. That exchanges are off, and some exchanges have already wicked that final target. And that's what happens in liquidation events like this. And that's what you're seeing here. And we got that strong bounce that we were expecting. So we are now back within. I think over the next few days, we could continue to build support on the bottom of this trend line. And I think any day we could either quickly break back down and other exchanges get caught up at 48 cents, or we could just see our massive breakout on XRP literally any day now. So make sure you're ready, make sure you're prepared and stocked up, and make sure you're part of what's next on XRP. But like I said, some exchanges have already hit that target. Some exchanges have not. So it's a little bit unclear if we're going to get that final low. So some exchanges could get caught up, but I think we are in for an awesome ride on what is next in XRP. So one thing I do want to mention is this was really strong strength. Look at this RSI. This is insane. It definitely looks like a liquidation event with how strong this is. But this is the type of event that gives the strength to break out of 6-year-old triangles. And this is exactly what we are talking about. So I think we're ready. And because of our updates, you should be prepared. And I'm excited for what the weekend holds and what we're going to talk about on Monday. So I'm excited to be back Monday with our update too.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Cassie. And thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday with another crypto market update.